everybody, this is what we're making today. The Joey Sling by SewYours. It's a new pattern by SewYours. It is so cute. I used a magnetic snap. You have a big pocket here for your phone or whatever you want to put in there. It's very secure. It's not going anywhere. And then you can wear it on either side. There's a D-ring on either side. And then on the inside, there's 4 credit card slots and a mesh pocket. So there's a mesh pocket there and 4 credit card slots here. And lots of room. Lots of room. It's kind of hard to see. It is cute. So go get the pattern, the Joey Sling by SewYours. It just came out. And let's get started. Thanks for watching. Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs, and I'm getting ready to do a new pattern by SewYours. It's the Joey Sling, and it just released the end of August of 2024, so I'm getting ready to do it. It's very exciting. So I'm just going to briefly go over the pieces. It is a sling, and the gusset is in 3 pieces. The outside gusset, you have L1, 2, and 3. They are not perfect squares. This one might be the bottom, but I did this out of the snake skin, and then the left and the right is out of this prism vinyl. It's gorgeous. I pricked my finger with my needle on my machine today. Very bad. Very bad. So that's the outside gusset. There are 2 credit card slots made for raw edge material, so I did those out of the snakeskin. That's piece N. Piece G is the strap connector with stabilizer, and I did that out of the prism vinyl. A bunch of extra little pieces here. F1 is the back exterior bottom with stabilizer out of the seam allowance, and I did that in the snake skin. There is a mesh pocket, so I only have black, so that's what I'm using. If you've watched me at all, you know I don't really like mesh pockets, but I'm going to do it because that's what it calls for. So there's just one of those, and that's piece O. Piece E is the, let's see, what does it say? The back top. And she gives you a stabilizer piece for that out of the seam allowance. There are 2 exterior and 2 lining zipper panels. So my lining is out of this waterproof canvas and then out of the prism for the outside. Piece A1 is the front exterior top with stabilizer out of the seam allowance. I'm doing that out of the prism vinyl. There is a D-ring anchor. I'm doing that out of the prism. Piece C is the front flap, and I did that out of the snake skin. And I cut a piece of the lining. I think I'm going to change that and go cut another piece, 2 pieces of the snake. I haven't decided, but I did put a piece of stabilizer out of the seam allowance. It seems like a lot of pieces, but she gives you a piece for all the stabilizers, which is really nice. Really nice. The front slip pocket, 1 out of the snake skin and 1 out of the lining. That's piece D. Piece B is the front exterior bottom, and that's a lining piece, so that's my waterproof canvas. And then there are 2 lining pieces, both out of the waterproof canvas. My lining gusset is out of the waterproof canvas, and that's all the pieces. My strap, I am going to do 1.5 inch webbing. So she gives you the strap connector for 1 inch webbing or for 1.5, which is really nice. I have one 1.5 inch black matte swivel clasp, all from my website. 1 slide adjuster, 1 square ring. 2 zipper pulls for the top, a zipper end I'm really not sure why I need a zipper end, but I think that was just in here. Yeah. You don't need a zipper end. And then for 2 D-rings. I think you only need 2 D-rings. Yeah. And then I'm using my zipper tape with matte black zipper teeth. And I think that's it. I'll have to go choose some zipper or some 1.5 inch webbing. So that's it. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is connect our 3 pieces of exterior gusset. So I have my bottom, which is considered the middle piece. And then for each side, I'm just clipping those in place and sewing them together at the seam allowance in the pattern. And I'm using Text 70, stitch length of a 4. Okay, then I'm going to fold that open and stitch down each side. I'm doing a bit of a bobbin dump, so I'm hoping this will at least get me through the gusset. Okay, then we'll add our other piece, and these pieces are a little narrower on top, so just keep that in mind. Make sure you put them on there correctly. And repeat the same. Fold your seam open and top stitch down each side. Okay, so there you have your outside gusset. It's kind of nice. It's kind of unique and different. I like it. All right, next step. So we're going to make our strap. We're going to burn our webbing ends on both ends. And I typically make my straps 56. So up and through my strap slider. And then I will fold it over about 1/2 inch just to keep everything from fraying. Even though you burn it, you know, sometimes over long periods of use, it will fray. And you don't want that. Okay, here we go. And I'm just going to do 2 rows of stitches. I do not use rivets on webbing. I have not ever done it. Doesn't mean you can't. I just don't think it's a good idea. Okay, and one more row. Okay. Okay, and clean that up just a little. Perfect. Grab your silver clasp. Just make sure things aren't twisted. Put that on. And bring that up and through your slide adjuster. This other end we're going to leave open until we get our strap connector done. So just bring that up and make sure it's not twisted. So just like that. That's it. That's it for the moment. And then take your strap connector. And I put interfacing on both sides. Probably absolutely not necessary. It's probably not a good idea, actually. I didn't know what I was doing. And put those right sides together. And actually, we want to put our strap up through there. So with our slider right side up, take your piece and slide that up through. And you want to have about, what does she tell you? All right, take one of your strap adjusters. After you mark your piece, make sure you have the slider right side up. And we're going to lay that right side down, just like that. I'm turning it over just so I can see. Because on this one, you want your slider wrong side up. So my slider is wrong side up. And we're just gonna baste that in place. Oops. I'm kind of shy of my needle today because I punctured my, and on that mark that you made, we're just basting that on, right on this mark. Then we're gonna lay the other strap connector right side down. Love it. And clip that in place and sew 3 sides with the seam allowance in the pattern. Can't believe I haven't run out of bobbin yet. Okay. Now we are going to clip these little corners, just clip them so that you have a good corner. Don't clip your strap. Okay, And let's turn that right side out. It's going to be hard with my poor little finger. It's amazing what you use your fingers for. Okay, poke your corners out. It's really not that hard. I'm handicapped with my little puncture in my finger this morning. Perfect. Okay. Next step. Let's sew. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and change my bobbin because I'm going to do some top stitching here. Yeah. And I don't want to run out of bobbin during top stitching. Not good. Check your bobbin. Check your bobbin before top stitching. Keep your finger out from under your needle. Just a couple tips today. Okay, and then we're going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And I said all the way around, but we're not doing the bottom. Now, she suggests that you do a little decorative stitch on here. So I'm going to do it. Why not? Let's mark it. So I'm just measuring for the center here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. All right, so there's the center. And then from each corner, we're going to bring up a line. This doesn't have to be perfect, so don't stress too much about it. Just do your best. So those two, and then find the center down here. And do the same thing up to your other corners. You're creating some V's. It's kind of fancy. Looks like a little bit argyle. So that's what you have. I don't know what you can see. And then we're going to just top stitch those. So Let's do it. And then I'm turning and coming down. And then I'll do the same thing. It just is a different little something, you know, instead of a plain strap connector. It's kind of nice. So let's do the same thing over here. And go back up. Okay. I'm going to clean that up. So that's all it is. It's really kind of cute. I like it. Don't worry about that being not straight there. That'll be fine. All right, let me clean that up and I'll be right back. So here's our D-ring connector, which we just drew a line down the center. And we're going to fold those sides to the center. I don't know how well this tape is going to hold this prism. Not well. Prism vinyl is very thick, I will say. And it doesn't like to be folded, even with really good double-sided tape. So, just keep that in mind. I think I made this the wrong size. Hold on a second. No. Hold please. All right, take your D-ring connector and draw a line down the middle. You need 2 3/4 inch. I think I originally said 1 inch, but you need 3/4 inch. And we're going to stitch this at a 1/4 inch. Let me just look here real quick. Yeah, a 1/4 inch down each side. It doesn't want to stay, so I'm just gonna go slow. And then a 1/4 inch down the other side. Perfect. Okay, so take your piece F and mark on from the pattern piece where the D-ring anchor is to go. Make sure you put your D-rings on There will be a little bit of excess of your strap, and that's okay. Not a lot, really. Now we're going to stitch and secure those in place on either side. Okay, you do the same thing on this other side. Don't forget to put your D-rings on, or you'll have to find Jack the Ripper. Trim off any excess if you have any. I have very little. 1/8 of an inch maybe on each side. Now I am going to attach mine let me mark it, hold on. So make a mark where she tells you to in the pattern from each side, and we're going to do an 1/8 inch stitch. Make sure your D-rings are on the opposite ends. This is one way to do it. She actually gives you another way to do it, but I like this method myself. I'm going to pull that thread to the back. You could back stitch. So we're doing a little box here. Now I'm going to go backwards because I'm way close to that. I'm close to that D-ring. I'm just pulling that thread to the back. There we go. Hold on to those. Pull that one to the back and tie it off. It just is a cleaner look. You can definitely back stitch if you want to. My thread, especially if you're using matching thread, mine actually matches pretty good, but okay. Hiya. There you go. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. I like it. Okay, so now you have 2 D-rings where you can put your sling on either side. Love it. Next step. So the next is to attach your webbing. The swivel, the slide adjuster is up, and you're going to attach it centered on top of your F piece. That looks pretty good. Just going to find some clips. And get that clipped. And sometimes it's hard to find the center, so I just measure, and it's even on each side. So we're just going to base that in place. And my thread, I'm not getting my thread, my finger under there. I gotta put my needle guard back on. Let's just base that in place. Okay. Perfect. Let me put my needle guard back on. Hold on. Okay, I put my needle guard on. Thank you, Nancy. So take piece E, and we're putting those right sides together, and we're going to stitch that with the seam allowance in the pattern. It's quite bulky here, so just go slow. A lot of layers there. And then flip that up and your strap connector, and we're going to top stitch on F with everything underneath there. Again, a lot of layers. Just go slow. Okay. Doesn't this go so good together? Don't worry about the prism. I had some oil here, so it'll be fine. It'll wipe right off. Cute. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put, my tag goes on the front though. I'll put my tag on the front. All right, next step. Then you're going to take C piece and put those right sides together, and we're going to stitch around the curved edge at the seam allowance in the pattern. Yeah. And then we're going to trim those by about half. And if you have pinking shears and that would work on your vinyl, I would suggest that, but I'm just going to clip my curves here. On both curves. Remember, when you clip, only clip about half your seam allowance. And turn that right side out. I'm going to use my little turning tool to push those curves nice and straight. And then I pre-marked where my magnetic snap is going to go. If you're using a turn lock, then feel free to do that. But I'm going to use a rivet magnetic snap. If I can get it out of the bag. There we go. Okay. So, because I'm going to use a ribbon magnetic snap, I'm going to go ahead and stitch all the way around and close that off. I don't need to get inside there. 1/8 of an inch top stitching. Now I can barely see where my mark is, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna punch it real quick. Use your pattern piece to mark where your turn lock is going to be or your magnetic snap. And I'm using the male portion on the flap. I'll go press that. All right, so then take piece D as in dog, your outside piece, and we're gonna add our tag. And this is her suggested place. You don't have to put it here, but you do you. So I'm using one of my metal black matte tags. Get it on there nice and straight. There's going to be a little bit of noise. And I'm going to put a little piece of fleece over that. I don't know if you can hear Jackie in the background. Was just outside and she's hot. She's panting. There we go. Oh my gosh, I got it on there straight. It's an absolute miracle. Look. All right, now take your flap and we're gonna lay that centered here. And I should have marked my centers. So let me do this. I'll just do it this way. And we're laying that with the wrong side up. I know it feels weird. And clip that in place. And then we're just going to baste that together. Next step. So take your lining piece D and lay that right side together with your flap in the middle, just like that. And sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. And flip that over and top stitch on the outside on your D piece. Just like that. So there is your pocket. Oh, and we got to stitch all the way around. I'm sorry. We should have done that. Stitch all the way around to just base that pocket together. Because this is a bound bag. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning. It is a bound bag. Now I have some extra over here, so I'm just going to trim it off. I probably didn't cut it out very good. All right, so there's your pocket and there's your front. Next, so take your top A with the interfacing on it, and then your bottom front exterior B, which is a lining piece. Put those right sides together and sew them together at the seam allowance in the pattern. Flip that up with the seam allowance going down towards the bottom and top stitch on your lining piece. With the seam underneath. This actually comes together very quickly, so that's what you should have. Now, I went ahead and marked where the other part of my snap is going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in place. See if I can get to it from here. Yep. And that's where I'm going to add the other part of my snap. Which is actually the female portion. So just like that, I'm going to go clip it. So the next step is to take your front piece that we created earlier and had our snap on that has our logo, and we're going to attach that together with our piece A and B that we just created, and we're going to clip those together. If you have a little extra on the bottom, don't worry about that. Because I do, so you might as well. Okay, so just like that, I'm going to get these pieces out of the way. And now we're going to baste around that at an eighth of an inch. Okay, so take piece O, which is your mesh, and I just have a piece of fold over elastic, and I put double-sided tape on mine just so it wouldn't move on me. And we're just adding this, and all fold over elastic has a little center to it. So I'm just adding that there. And I'm trying to get it as nice and straight as I can. And then take the other piece and fold that over. And then we're going to stitch that together. And I'm just using black because the only mesh I have is black. If you've watched me at all, you know I really don't like using mesh. And you don't have to here. If you prefer to use a piece of fabric, then do it. So now we're just going to stitch that together. My needle was down. Not good, Barb. Not putting my finger under there, I guarantee you. And just stitch that together. Don't worry if it's not perfect because these sides are going to be in the seam. So don't worry too much about how perfect that is. So that's what you have. Okay. Now grab one of your lining pieces. And I'm trying to find the right side. It's hard to tell. And we're going to add that right there. And it's gonna stretch just a little. It's not a perfect piece. And that's okay. You don't want it to be perfect because fold over elastic stretches, mesh stretches. So, and we're going to base that all the way around except for the top, obviously. Okay, that's it. Very simple. And if it's pulling a little bit like mine is, that's okay. We will flatten it out when we put it all together. So take piece N, your credit card slots, and measure down from each top what she tells you to in the pattern. Put a double-sided piece of tape and fold it down to the line. And then we're going to top stitch that. and top stitch across that. Your needle might get gummy. You can wipe it off. And I'm just going to chain stitch. Right. And my snake skin is going in 2 different directions, and I'm okay with that. I tried to use a piece of that I had left over. So take your other lining piece, and this has just got a little weird here down here. I'm just going to round it off. And take your pattern piece. And I'm going to fold that down to where my first card slot is on the pattern piece. Okay. And I'm going to use my 2, I have 5 of these, but these Sew Tight magnets. And I'm going to lay my pattern piece here. And I'm just going to mark it. Where the first one goes. I'm going to use my ruler. And I'm going to use this one. So this is the one that actually shows. And I'm going to lay it centered on my piece. And then I'm going to sew across the bottom at 1/8 of an inch. And this is raw edge. This ends up being raw edge. That's why she tells you to use your exterior fabric. Plus, I think it looks good, actually. So that's what it looks like. And now we're going to add our other piece. Let me see how far down that is supposed to be. And go down from the top, what she tells you to in the pattern. I wish I could tell you, but I'm not going to. And I'm going to use, let's see if this will go through. Yeah, it will. It's a beautiful thing. I'm going to use both of them, though. Just like that. And I'm just going to go make sure that it's still nice and even. And it needs to go up just a hair on both sides. And I actually can clip that and go up a little bit. So it stays even. Okay. And then we're going to stitch down and up. And across the bottom. And up the side. Take a drink of water. And now we're going to divide these evenly because the card slots go vertical. So I'm just going to divide them vertically. It is raining out, you guys. So funny. Okay. Every afternoon. Rains a little bit. And then, so I'm just going to make sure they're nice and even. And they are. It's a beautiful thing. And then just so, I'm going to start from the bottom. Back stitching over that one. And I think I'm just going to come back down. Okay. Beautiful. Let's test them. Let's make sure it works. Let me find my card. Let's see if they work. Oh my gosh, they're perfect. Oh, hold on. Tony had his ears in and he was singing, so if you heard it, that's what it was. It was pretty funny. So these card slots are perfect. So there's room for 4, but you could probably fit more in there. It's just perfect in every way. Okay. Next step. I love it. So take your zipper panels, and I put a piece of 1/8 inch double-sided tape on the right side of each one. Take your zipper with your zipper pulls, or you can leave them off and add them later. It's really up to you. And I'm going to add my zipper right sides together with my exterior zipper panel piece. And because I use 1/8 inch, it doesn't stick as well, so, and you don't have to use tape at all. You could really just clip them together. And then I'll take the tape off my lining piece and sandwich that in between. If I can get my tape off. That's what I say. And sandwich that in between. Right sides down. And then I just do it in one stitch, but you could baste the outside and then add your lining piece, whichever works for you. Now I'm going to do the seam allowance in the pattern. zipper foot on, so I don't have any issues. Just keep that in mind. Then I'm going to put those wrong sides together and top stitch on all 4 sides. 1/8 of an inch. Just like any other zipper placket. You don't want to pull too hard on your zipper, but you want it to be nice and taut. And even. Okay, so just like that. Now I'm going to stitch on all 4 sides, and then I'm going to repeat those steps on this other side of my zipper, on the other side of my zipper. All right, put your right side of your gusset right together with your zipper panel, and mine is significantly less. I'm really not sure. See that? I don't know why, but we'll just have to trim it off. I'm not worried about it. And then I'm going to put my lining panel the same. And we'll sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. I don't know why that's so off, but then we'll put those right sides together. I mean, wrong sides together and top stitch. Interesting. Let me try. I'm gonna have to trim this up. I'm gonna do it after I get it sewn together, because otherwise it'll be off. I have no idea. I'm sure I cut something wrong. It's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let's top stitch. And then we'll repeat that. Right sides together on this side. Right sides together on this side. Yeah, it's how I cut it. I can tell right now because this side isn't as bad. Yeah, it's a bordy issue, not a pattern issue. It's okay. It happens. All right, and let's turn that right side out. And we'll top stitch on that side. Now, I am going to, before I trim it to size, I am going to baste the bottom lining and exterior together. So I started where my gusset is, and I just went to the widest part. So you don't really, you're not decreasing this. If you have to trim any off, I only am decreasing where it meets the zipper. I'll have to go back and look at my measurements, see what I did. All right, there you go. There's your zipper panel. Next step. So now we're gonna baste the interior and the outside together. So the slip pocket or the mesh pocket goes on the back. And this front goes with the credit card slots. It's a beautiful thing. We're just gonna baste them together. Okay, find the centers of your gusset. So I clip these two seams together, here and here, and I get the center on my zipper panel and on my bottom. That's how I find my centers. So now we're going to turn this wrong side out, wrong side out, and we're going to add it to the front. Find your centers on both of your panels that you just basted together. And we're going to clip them together all the way around. I like to put a few clips in the top and then go to the bottom. And then we'll ease the rest of it in. And you may need to clip the curves, we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to clip the bottom curve here. I didn't clip the top one. It's kind of hard to do this with a sore finger. There we go. Okay, let's stitch that all the way around. Okay, let's see how I did. Now, these designers always tell you not to trim your seams, but you just have to make them even. Don't over trim, but you need to make them even when you're binding a bag. So just do a little tiny trimming to even it up. That's it. You don't want to like trim it in half though. That's for sure. Okay, that looks actually pretty good. Let's see. All right, so you can decide whether you want to put your binding on at each side. I think I will, so let me go grab my binding. So I just pull my binding around and cut it off, and then I'm going to sew these two ends together. BJ is the one who taught me to do this, and it really, the couple times that I've done it, it really works good. rather than trying to, number one, overlap it or do it when you have it on the bag. This works so much easier. Hold on. So now I sewed those together. We're still going to start at the bottom here. And I splay that open. You could, I suppose, do it to one side. You're still going to clip it in place. Get any threads off there. We'll see how I did. I'm going to make BJ proud. And then it really works. Look at this, guys. You still want to clip it, but look at it. It fits perfect. BJ, BJ, BJ. Oh my gosh, this is so much easier, you guys. So I'll show you the entire process on when I do the other side, because this is the way to go. Definitely. Okay, let's put the other side on. And I'll do that on fast forward. All right, let's do it. I did not clip the corners on this one. I'm gonna go out live dangerously and see if I can do it with my bobbin. Probably not a good idea. I'm gonna try it. I will say, make sure that your strap connector is down in. You do not want to sew that on with your gusset. Okay, I made it with my bobbin. Let's see how much we have left. Let's just see. Oh, decent. Love it. Okay. So let's just trim ever so slightly. Again, don't over trim. You're just evening up your sides. That's it. So that when you put the binding on, it goes pretty straight. That's it. There was not much on this side. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wind a new bobbin. I don't think I have enough to... maybe I do. I'll try it. Living dangerously. Okay. So, here's how we do the binding. I start at the bottom. Just like this. And I am going to clip it just so I know where I started and just pull it nice and snug. Don't overstretch. Pull it all the way around. And then clip it so you have a seam. That's it. Take it off. Put right sides together, and I do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Let's make sure it's not twisted. Good old fabricator didn't like that. It's fine. It's all fine now. Okay. Now, if it's not even, I'm just going to trim it up. It wasn't even. There we go. Now, we're just going to add that on and clip it. Open that little seam. and clip it in place. It's a beautiful thing. It works. It's really beautiful. I don't know about beautiful, but it works great. All right, let's turn it right side out. It's going to be a challenge with my poor little finger, but we'll make it work. Oh, that wasn't bad. Even with my finger. That was not bad at all. Well, I'm not done yet, so. There we go. It's a little guy. But you know, slings these days really don't need to be big. Let me undo my clip here. Turn you around. There it is, guys. Look at this little cutie poo. You have a magnetic snap closure pocket in here that is plenty big for phones today. And then on the inside, you have a slip pocket, mesh slip pocket. And on the other side, you have, let me turn it around so you can see, 4 credit card slots. Now, you know, the credit card slots, how useful are they? You know, everybody has a small wallet these days. But if you want to go for a long day, you want to put your driver's license, 1 credit card, and some cash, it's perfect for this. That way you don't have the bulk or the, you know, your whole wallet. You don't need it. Look at that. I was trying to find a water bottle, but I think a water bottle would fit in there. Look at that. It's good size. And it opens wide. It's very cute. It's very cute. Just cleaning it up. Look at that. It's got that little accent bottom piece, which is really cute. I like it. Now you could put a twist lock here, but that snap, I mean, is pretty secure. 2 zippers. You could add a zipper back here if you wanted. I think when I make another one, I'm going to add a zipper pocket on the inside instead of the mesh pocket. Or maybe just a regular slip pocket with fabric. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of mesh. I don't think it lasts, although this is pretty good. I'm just not a big fan of mesh, and that's okay. Very cute. It's very functional, and you can see what's in the pocket. The Joey Sling by SewYours. Look at that little cutie patootie. The snake skin. And the prism. Here's my my thoughts on prism vinyl. You have to be pretty selective on what you're going to use it for. It's very thick. It's fine for this, but would I use it again for this prism vinyl? No. It's really nice stuff, but I don't think I'd use it again for this pattern. It's too thick. The snake is a perfect thickness, so I'd use a different vinyl for this. But this back here is nice because you can wear it, your sling clasp on either side. If you're right-handed, left-handed, or your shoulder gets tired. Very cute. Go get the pattern. The Joey Sling by SewYours. It's a brand new pattern. Go get the pattern and make it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.